Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Help Is Here podcast. Today I'm going to be sharing one of our clients' Remember Letters. The Remember Letter is a really powerful tool that every client of ours uses to help really document the reality of living in a full-time addiction. The truth of actually what it's like to go and watch pornography, engage in a compulsive behaviour, and those real consequences afterwards. When you're in an addiction, what can often happen is a part of the mind will try and deny that reality. It'll try and glamorize it. It'll say things like, this isn't that bad, it's normal, everyone does it. Or maybe it's things like, well, this is just who I am, I've just kind of got this addictive personality perhaps. But the truth is, neuroplasticity is real. It is possible to change the brain. But the only way to really do this is by having a very hard look at ourselves and really, most importantly, looking at the way in which this addiction can cost us, the way it can impact our mental health, the way it can impact our relationships, it can impact finances, it can impact our energy, our self-esteem, confidence, and really every area of our life. What a lot of people do is they don't want to look at that because it is uncomfortable. And, everything we teach here at the Beyond Compulsion Academy, it isn't really about doing what's fun. It's not about doing what's always pleasurable. It's not about always being, sort of excited on some self-improvement treadmill. Instead, it's really about facing the reality of addiction, weighing up choices in a rational way, and then getting to enjoy those benefits of living life free of addiction, able to make good choices day in, day out, without that monkey on your back. So, I'm going to read out this Remember Letter now. Let's get into it. Remember, this is what it's really like to have to engage in my compulsive behaviour, out of control, unable to stop. The amount of time I've spent engaging in compulsive and self-destructive behaviour is both ridiculous and infuriating. These behaviours have left me empty, frustrated, hating myself, hopeless, physically and mentally exhausted, broke, dumb, and alone. I have given the addicted part of my mind everything it has demanded. Every time a part of me has wanted porn, or new things, or sugar, or any other quick hit, I have granted its request. And yet it remains totally unsatisfied. I have been a faithful servant to every request of my own addicted mind, and it still demands everything from me. I am fighting a battle against a part of myself that is entirely impossible to understand. This thing, this part of me, wants endless hits of momentary stimulation at the expense of everything else. It does not matter if I have important work responsibilities or familial duties. All the addicted part of the mind wants is quick hits. I may stay a loser, I may stay single, I may stay weak, frustrated, exhausted, broke and hopeless, and the addicted part of the mind would still demand hit after hit after hit while the rest of me faded away. Remember this. I've already engaged in my compulsive behaviour many, many times. Having to engage in my compulsive behaviour puts the worst part of my mind in charge of my entire life. It takes the rational me, the one who wants to live a good and real life, and makes that a cowering slave kept around to serve every desire that the addicted part has. Remember, the addicted part of the mind has never cared that I met a girl I liked. It has never cared that I have potential in my career. It has never cared that I need to save money, or that I need to be healthy, or that I have goals to pursue, or that I want to spend time with friends and family. All this part of my brain cares about is that I engage in my compulsion. The addicted part of the mind says, clear your schedule, cancel your own plans, put your life on hold, and screw your future because Master is eating good tonight. Remember how it feels to be out of control, to be glued to the porn site, even when I'm screaming at myself to stop, to choose the pixel-generated women over a real one, to be loading up the credit card with unnecessary stuff, even as I cringe at the bill that will be due, to shovel the McDonald's into my mouth, even though I know how bad I will feel in just a few minutes' time, to scroll from reel to reel, even as the pressure of my responsibilities scream at me to stop, to see my compulsive behaviours as the empty and degrading things that they are, and yet still engage in them, to watch my life turn to shit, and to engage in the very behaviours that brought me to ruin. But I will feel a soothing rush for a very temporary moment. So there's that. Right. It's a really good remember letter, that one. So yeah, I think that just really captures the reality of being in a porn addiction. And honestly, that experience, as with most Remember Letters I read, very, very similar to mine. When you're in that addiction, what's going on is the addicted part of the mind doesn't care about anything but engaging in that compulsive behaviour. A part of your mind, it wants to go ahead and keep on doing this thing that's really destroying your life. And it doesn't care for the consequences. And so that's what we need. What we need is to have a way in those moments where we want to engage in that behaviour to actually think it through rationally and look at the reality of it. Face the truth. Face how bad being in that addiction really is, the way it's impacting your life. And that's why we get our clients to write a Remember Letter. Now, what you'll find in the description below is a booklet, and you can download this. It's completely free, and you can read over 30 other clients' Remember Letters. And I'd really, really recommend writing one of these yourself, and then you can start to read this regularly, and it's going to really help you put the rational part of your mind back in control. Hopefully this helps you. Cheers for listening, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.